I'm going to show you how I make my pumpkin spice loaf cake. It's very easy. I first start with some fresh pumpkin puree. You can use canned, but I have a video showing you how easy it is to make the puree on your own if you'd like to give it a try. When the fall season first starts, I usually make a bunch and store it in my freezer until I'm ready. The day before I want to make something, I'll just put it in my refrigerator to defrost. Next, I beat 2 eggs and then add it to the pumpkin puree. I'm sure to mix it well because I want the yolk and egg whites to be mixed appropriately. The video description box will have a link for the full recipe for you to view. Next, I add vanilla extract and then some vegetable oil. I mix it all together well before I go ahead and add the sour cream. The sour cream is great because it's one of the things that make this cake texture very moist. I mix it all together very well and then I go ahead and add the sugar. I start first with some white granulated sugar. Then I go ahead and add some brown sugar. You actually can do this to taste, and if you use dark brown sugar like I'm doing here, it does make the cake a little bit darker compared to if you had used light brown sugar. Once I've mixed it together well, I move on to start my dry ingredients. Now I call this pumpkin spice loaf cake because it's a little bit heavier on the spices than the traditional pumpkin bread that I also make. That's a different recipe I'll post at another time. So I start first with my all-purpose flour. I put it into a bowl and then add some salt. Then I put some baking powder, followed by some cinnamon. I then add nutmeg, allspice, and some ground ginger. All of these really do help to enhance the pumpkin flavor. So I mix it all together well. I just do it with a fork because I keep things very simple, as you can tell, but you can also use a whisk if you prefer. Once I feel that it's all mixed in well, I go ahead and start to add it gradually to the wet ingredients. I tend to do it in batches, just put a little bit and then mix it in, and then add some more once I feel it's all been mixed in well. After about 3 separate batches of pouring in the dry ingredients, I'm done and then feel that everything has mixed together well. All of the spices really will have an amazing smell at this point. I don't show it on camera, but I really do take the time to really mix well just to make sure that all of the flour pockets are gone. When I'm done, I prepare my loaf pan with parchment paper just for easy removal, and then go ahead and add the batter into the pan. It's really a beautiful batter that's very easy to make. So I go ahead and preheat the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to be baking this inside for an hour and 20 minutes or until a toothpick comes out dry. I allow the cake to cool for some time in the pan and then remove it to a wire rack to cool completely. Then once I cut into it, what I see is a nice, soft, moist cake. It really will taste delicious. And just that quickly, you've made your own pumpkin spice loaf cake. While it is symbolic of the fall, I think it can be enjoyed during any season. At another time, I'll also post my recipe for a traditional pumpkin bread.